we're about ready for the kickoff. The Green Bay Packers have won the toss, elected to receive for Tampa Bay. That's Bill Capiz kicking off. Turdell Middleton is deep along with Mike McCoy. And the ball is in the air. Turdell Middleton retreats 5 yards deep in the end zone. Muffed it as a touchback. First and 10 at the 20-yard line. He muffed it, hit the end line. It'll be brought out to the 20, put in play. First and 10 right there.
Lindsay, that has to make Tampa feel good that Capiz is kicking the ball that far in the end zone and not giving Green Bay the chance to return it, because that's been one of the weak things about Tampa is their special teams.
Tim Stokes starting up there at tackle. Concord did not make the trip. McCarron with his 91st consecutive start is in there at center for the Green Bay Packers. David Whitehurst brings him up there at his numbers. Huckabee and Gary Ellis are the setbacks. They move Kaufman over to a wing right. Kaufman in motion outside right. Leave it on the ground, taken by Ellis. He has rushed for 574 yards, average 4.4.
Lindsay, another thing that's going to be interesting is seeing that aggressive Tampa secondary to see how they handled Lofton and Jefferson in this ball game, because there's no love lost between the both of them, believe me.
Exactly. A gain of 3 yards on the last play. It's 2nd down and 7. Each of these teams with identical records of 5 wins and 6 losses each. Kaufman motion outside left. Whitehurst retreats to setup. Jefferson.
Went right to Jefferson. He had to move, get the defense move, get the offense moving. That's a big thing. He's starting to establish Jefferson early in the ball game.
Exactly. Last week, J.J. was shut out for only the 2nd time in his career. Here, he has picked up a first down. It's 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
This Tampa defense has to set the pace of this game now, Lindsay. They have to start. They got to stop Green Bay. They can't let them get any momentum going.
Lofton to the left side. John Jefferson to the right side. Kaufman a wing right. Lone setback. Gary Ellis going to be marked at about the 37-yard line. Cecil Johnson coming in from a linebacker to make the tackle again of 4, 2nd and 6. Injury on the play. Tampa Bay man is down, and the training staff has come on. There are the numbers on Gary Ellis.
Lindsay, the thing that you want to do defensively is really see that offense get 3 or 4 or 5 yards on that first down. If they keep getting it moving the ball that way.
Clearly shows what a little showing off can do.
Now, wait a minute. I'm the most popular guy here.
Andy Hawkins was injured on the last play, replaced by David Lewis. It's 2nd and 6 now at the 37-yard line. Kaufman in motion outside right. Ellis. He got to the 39-yard line before he stopped by Richard Wood. A gain of 2 makes it 3rd and 4.
Now, Lindsay, Green Bay's going to have to start playing into it. Tampa has them now where they want them. Now they have to throw the ball, come up with some type of play to get that first down. And the way the aggressiveness of Tampa's defense, this could turn, sort of set the pace for the ball game right now.
All right, they're doubling Jefferson and Lofton to the right side. Ellis is the lone setback. That's J.J. in motion across. Whitehurst. Gary Lewis. Incomplete. Incomplete, covered by Neil Cozy. That'll bring up a 4th down.
Yesterday when I had a chance to talk to Neil Cozy, Lindsay, he feels that it's almost like being back in Oakland with that secondary he has with those young kids back there. They're aggressive, they hit. He made a great play there. A big play.
That's Holt back there deep to receive it for Tampa Bay. Ray Stakowicz is in deep punt formation. Rookie from Michigan State. Average 41.3. His long is 72 for the year. And it is killed at the 27-yard line. Parkelson killed the ball, and so that is where the Tampa Bay Bucs will start. Now 1st and 10, spotted nearer the 28. So there is no score in the Williams. Brings the Tampa Bay Buccaneers up. Now let's see about their offense. They come up there in an I formation. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Give it to the tailback. Taken by Jerry Eckwood.
That has to make them feel good, Lindsey. This is the first running play where they virtually had no running game at all this year. They pick up 4 or 5 yards.
All right, here is the quarterback, running backs, and wide receivers for the Tampa Bay Bucs. Sanders is starting in place of Revis at that left tackle position, and Steve Wilson starting today at center. Second down and 6 at the 32-yard line. Wilder ahead of Eckwood in the I formation. Eckwood heading for the 6, and he may have picked up the first down when they get it spotted. Casey Merrill came in to make the tackle on Eckwood.
They look determined, Lindsey, to get this consistency going in the offense that they ever had. First 2 running plays, and again against a good Green Bay defense, too.
Last 2 games, of course, they have had difficulty getting any sort of an offense going. Here's the Green Bay Packer defense. Fine set of linebackers. And the deep backs. First down and 10 yards to go. Motion across. Doug Williams. Incomplete. Throwing for tight end Jimmy Giles.
Tell you what, Lindsey, he's looking for somebody, and nobody's working to get back to him. No one's working to get him to help him out. And he did have good protection, and with this guy, he can throw the football. You have to give that quarterback some help, Lindsey. When he starts looking around like that, you can't just start waiting downfield for the football. You have to get back to him. He's in trouble, and he needs somebody to throw him the ball.
Mark Lee was the defender who made the move. Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball at the 39-yard line. Tampa's ball in Tampa territory. Eckwood. Mike Butler in to make the tackle. At about the 42-yard line.
Well, Lindsey, I think now this third down play coming up, here's the running play, and it wasn't really what you want to do in this situation. I think if Doug Williams is going to start threatening his Green Bay defense a little bit, he's going to have to start threatening with the pass. And this third down right here is probably going to be an important down for Tampa.
Third down and 7 yards to go. Going to a shotgun. Direct snap to Doug Williams. Williams runs it. I think he got the first. He was heading for the 6. Terry Jones brought him down. But he picked up the first intended midfield.
I'll tell you what, Lindsey, just hear that crowd. I'll tell you, that has to do something for Doug Williams in this offense. If he can't get anybody open and get some help from receivers, he's going to do it himself.
Well, he's picked up the first. They had the ball just short of the 50-yard line. Tony Davis has come into the ball game now. James Wilder has come out. That's Davis moving over a stride. That's Owens going into the deep back position in the I formation. James Owens, formerly of UCLA, and he moved to the 49-yard line. Picked up about a yard, a long yard. Terry Jones made the tackle.
I'll tell you what, Lindsey, he's spreading. He's making that Green Bay defense work today. He's not letting them have it too easy.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the National Football League is prohibited. Owens again moves to the tailback in the I formation. Williams swings it out to Owens. 45. Out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Bumped out by George Cumby. Picked up 7 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2.
With that motion of House motioning in towards the middle of the field, Lindsey, he sort of dragged that defensive secondary and held that linebacker in there a little bit. And then when he took off upfield, he sort of cleared it out to get the ball to the back out there. And it was a good play. You can credit House with helping out on a lot.
Jim O'Vadovich comes into the ball game. Gordon Jones comes into the ball game. Kevin House comes out. Theo Bell comes out on a 3rd and short. Owens and Davis. stop.
They talked about playing Owens a lot more during the week when I got here, Lindsey, and I'll tell you what, that really helped them out right there. Lindsey, I'll tell you what, Owens will give him a lot more speed. I'll tell you the other thing he will do that's important is they think that he's probably the back with the best hands on the team.
Jerry Eckwood is back in there at the tailback now. Tony Davis stays in at the fullback. Owens is off the field at the moment. Williams swings it out incomplete. Forward pass behind the line incomplete. Cumbie covering. Eckwood, the man for whom it was intended.
I'll tell you what, Lindsey, it's not too enjoyable going after balls like that with the linebacker drawing a bead on you.
You're a little exposed, aren't you?
You certainly are. You certainly are. The good thing about Tampa right now, he's throwing a lot of different formations at Green Bay early in a ball game. He's getting them thinking about what formations they're going to use. He's trying to mix them up a little bit to make that defensive people on Green Bay work a little bit.
2nd and 10. Williams. Mark Lee had it in his hand, deflected it incomplete. Intended for Eckwood.
Lindsey, that's one of the big things. Here's in a picture is Eckwood right here. Watching him from up here, he's just moving down the field, just gliding down the field. I mean, that was a big down for him. I mean, he has to be, you know, you look at all the things that's happened to Tampa Bay, and everybody's saying things about Williams. You know, when you have people playing like that, that certainly isn't going to help you at all.
James Owens comes back on. Jerry Eckwood comes out for Tampa Bay. Owens came from the San Francisco 49ers to Tampa. Owens got to the 29-yard line. John Anderson, linebacker on the left outside, made the stop.
Well, Lindsey, I'll tell you what, that is a little conservative. They didn't even make an attempt to really get the ball downfield to even get in position to score. They're going to try and go for the field goal. Capice has good range, and this may not be a bad spot for Capice to come in there, get 3 points on the board, because that has been a weak part of their game.
He is 7 for 15 in the field goal department. This will be a 47-yarder. With Larry Swider holding. 47-yarder is good. It is his longest.
They got 3 points on the board, Lindsey.
And so, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a 47-yard field goal, the longest by the Buccaneers are leading by 3 points. Capice will kick it off. It's Turdell Middleton and Mike McCoy deep for Green Bay. It's over to Middleton side of the field. Now it's taken by McCoy. He will not run it out. Touchback. First intended the 20-yard line. Taken by McCoy as he moved back about 5 yards deep.
That drive for Tampa, Lindsey, has to fire him up a little bit. Has to make the defense aware. Now the offense is starting to move the ball. They came away with 3 points. Now get the ball back for him again.
That field goal by Capice, 47 yards, ties the longest field goal ever by a Tampa Bay Buccaneer at home.
Certainly has to make him feel good, Lindsey, to get out there and make the first one right out of the chute.
Should make those Tampa Bay fans a little happier, too.
It certainly has.
Kaufman and Lewis double tight in alignment for Green Bay. Whitehurst. Incomplete. Intended for Lofton.
You know, Lindsey, the one thing Whitehurst is not doing to Tampa Bay's defense, and that's stretching it out. He's going for the short passes right now. You got a person like Lofton. You have Kaufman in there that can run those short passes around the linebackers in the flat. You have to start stretching that defense out early in the ball game. Start getting them something to worry about. Right now, they must feel pretty comfortable with them just trying to hit the passes right in front of everybody.
Whitehurst 2-0 as the starting quarterback this year. Replacing Dickey, who is on the injury list. Swings it out into the left back to Ellis. Gary Ellis. He spells it G-E-R-R-Y and pronounces it Gary. Gets it up to the 25-yard line.
You know, he's starting to go out and get a little conservative himself now, Lindsey. He's not trying to get the ball up the field like he should be. This is a big pressure game, and I'll tell you what, I think Tampa Bay, they know they have their backs to the wall, and I think they might have a little more fight in them.
Well, they're leading by 3 points here in the first quarter. 6 minutes, 6 seconds remaining to be played in this period. Third down play coming here. 5 yards to go at the 25. That's Ellis in motion outside right. Whitehurst. And it's complete. Taken by Ellis. First and 10 at the 34-yard line. Cedric Brown made the tackle.
Lindsey, that was great pressure on. Even though they completed a pass, the one thing Tampa Bay knows is they're starting to get to him now. They're putting pressure on him now. You know, and he has to start throwing those short passes now. He's not going to want to monkey around throwing the deeper passes and not know if he has the time or not.
The Giants are a 5-6 team, one of the 7 in the conference tied with that record, and they're leading the Philadelphia Eagles by a score 3-0 in the first quarter. Joe Danello with a field goal, a 39-yarder. This is Ellis. He got 2 yards to the 36 where it'll be second down and 8. Andy Hawkins back in the ballgame made the tackle. Penalty marker on the play.
Tampa's making Green Bay grind it out.
Penalty is against the Green Bay Packers. Jerry Seaman is the referee here this afternoon. He will enforce the penalty and then tell us about it.
Holding number 54 offense.
Larry McCarron in the center. Puts the ball back to the 24-yard line. Makes it first down and 20 yards to go. Brings it out. Taken by John Jefferson. J.J. running a circuitous route. Took the pass out in the left side and is stopped at the 23-yard line.
I'll tell you what, Lindsey, they aren't trying to establish anything. He's completing some passes, but I'll tell you what, the passes he's completed so far, they haven't meant anything. They haven't meant one thing, and they're not establishing themselves against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is starting to dictate the game a little bit defensively to these people.
It'll be second down and 20 yards to go. Tampa Bay leading 3-0. Tampa Bay had been held scoreless in the first half of each of its last 2 games. At the 36-yard line. Got away and the scramble was on. Officials jump in there to check the ruling here. James Lofton, the receiver. Look again.
He went right in there, Lindsey, and worked his way right in the middle, settled down a little bit, gave the quarterback a target to throw to. What a great catch. Catches it in his hands, puts it back in. A good play by the defensive back to move that ball out. It was close.
Mike Washington was the man who made the tackle. But it is a first and 10. Possession retained by the Green Bay Packers. They have the ball at their own 36-yard line. 3 minutes, 42 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Tampa Bay is leading by a score of 3-0. Ellis and Harlan Huckabee are the setbacks. Whitehurst. Lofton. First and 10 at the 46. James Lofton.
I think he has a little bit of confidence in Lofton, Lindsey, 2 times in a row.
I think he does, and I think I would.
Well, he has Lofton in a good position, split out there on the right-hand side. He comes in there, and virtually he has man-to-man coverage, and he has the wide side of the field to come into.
Rich Campbell is coming there at quarterback. Rich Campbell is coming there at quarterback. Harlan Huckabee carrying on the handoff from Rich Campbell. Down to the 42-yard line.
Now it's starting to change back a little bit, Lindsey. This game's starting to teeter back and forth a little bit, but I'll tell you what, Tampa has to get a little more aggressive. They can't start giving those shorter passes, 15, 16, 17-yard passes to Lofton now.
Rich Campbell, the rookie from the University of California at Berkeley. We were told that if Whitehurst came out of the ball game, he would not be backed up today by Lynn Dickey, but by Rich Campbell. Campbell is in the ball game here in the first quarter, third and 6 at the 42. Ellis got the first down inside the 30-yard line. Neil Cozy made the tackle.
Well, Lindsay, when you have a running back like Ellis that can not only run the ball, but come out of that backfield and beat people, get open in those holes, catch the ball, and run with it after he catches the ball, that's such an added plus to your offensive system. It's unbelievable. You have people like that to go to. It gives the defense a lot of things to worry about.
They picked up 13 yards on the play. It's at the 29, first and 10 for the Green Bay Packers. Huckabee and Ellis are the setbacks. Kaufman in motion across. Huckabee carrying. Moves it to the 21-yard line.
The one good thing about Green Bay now, Lindsay, is having Stenerud on the sideline. They could start taking the chance of throwing the ball in the end zone, getting a touchdown, because this guy has a range of up to 50 yards. And the way he's playing this year, the way he's kicking that ball this year, he's dangerous from anywhere on the field to get it to the goalpost.
Ellis has gone off. Jim Jensen has replaced him. Second down, 2 yards to go. At the 21. Jensen carried, and may have picked it up. They'll take a long look at this one. Dave Logan, the nose tackle, made the stop. They'll check for the possible first down.
When you have somebody like Stenerud on your team, Lindsay, I'll tell you what an added luxury that is to have, because you can basically, when you get around a 20, 25-yard line, your offense can do anything that it wants to do. You could throw it in the end zone, get it underneath the defense, whatever you want to do, because when you know you have that guy on the sideline that can go out there and kick it and get 3 points for you, and it's almost automatic all the time, you know, not too many people live with that luxury.
That's a first and 10. First down and 10 yards to go at the 19-yard line. The report on David Whitehurst is that he has been taken to the locker room for further examination, possible groin injury. Quarterback David Whitehurst, and that is why Rich Campbell is in there at quarterback just now. First and 10 for the Pack. They have the ball at the 19. Pittsburgh 6, Cleveland 3 in the first quarter. Huckabee and Ellis are the setbacks. Huckabee in motion outside right. Rich Campbell swings it out to Ellis. Side slips one, cuts back, stretches out to the 20-yard line.
Tampa got some good penetration on that play, Lindsay, and I'll tell you what, it was a good place.
Good wide receiver Lofton out there trying to throw a block.
Well, Lindsay, he did a lot better than I did. That's for sure. But I'll tell you what, there was a lot of penetration on that play, and that's what you really have to get on swing passes like that. Just get a little bit of penetration.
Bay is leading Green Bay by a score of 3-0. I'm Lindsey Nelson with Fred Biletnikoff. It is second out, 11 yards to go for the Green Bay Packers. They have the ball at the Tampa Bay 20-yard line. Kaufman in motion across. Rich Campbell. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Cedric Brown. Cedric Brown. This is about a 78-yarder. We'll get the official yardage. Cedric Brown has intercepted and run it in. It is somewhere near 78 yards. We'll get the official yardage for you.
What a turnaround, Lindsay. This is just what Tampa Bay needs. To have Green Bay knocking on a door, getting down to the 20-yard line, where your passing game has to be so good down there that you want to get it to the right people. And he threw the interception. Cedric Brown picks it off and runs it all the way back. What a lift. Now it gives them a little bit more breathing room offensively. Now they have a chance to do a few things offensively maybe they didn't want to try.
The official yardage is 81. 81 yards for Cedric Brown on his return of the interception and the touchdown, putting the Bucs out in front. They have a conversion attempt coming. The piece is in to attempt it. 15 for 16. Swider's holding for him. with a conversion that is good. And so as they come back up the field, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are leading in the ballgame by a score of 10-0 over the Green Bay Packers. Capiz is ready to kick it off. Curdell Middleton and Mike McCoy are the deep men to receive it for the Green Bay Packers. Capiz with the kick. And it's run out from 2 yards deep by McCoy. McCoy at the 15, to the 20. McCoy out to the 25-yard line, the 26. They'll start it there, 1st and 10. The interception and return by Cedric Brown was the second longest interception return by a Buccaneer ever. The longest, 82 yards, by Neil Cozy. Next Sunday starts, of course, with the NFL today. The Green Bay Packers are at Minnesota. Tampa Bay is at New Orleans. Doubleheader game, Atlanta at Houston. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. 1st and 10 for the Green Bay Packers, who are down by 10 here early in the second quarter. Huckabee and Ellis. Rich Campbell to Huckabee. Harlan Huckabee to the 28-yard line.
Lindsay, what a great opportunity for Tampa right now. If they hold Green Bay here and they get that ball back for the offense, it's going to be it's going to get that team so high that it's going to get them back playing where they should be playing. And this.
There's Batman, Richard Wood. You can see the Batman emblem on his elbows and his forearms. Been a great linebacker for John McKay in college and in Tampa Bay both. Rich Campbell. There's Lofton. And Lofton's at the 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Hugh Green made the tackle.
Lofton makes a great play out of this. He goes in there, he can't find an opening there, he can't find an opening there, and he keeps going to the middle of the field till he finds a spot that's open. Campbell follows him in there, and he gets open for Campbell, and it's an easy throw, and it's an easy reception, and he gets him over midfield, gets him out of the hole, gets him to midfield.
Play was good for 21 yards. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Gary Ellis. At the 42-yard line, stopped by Cedric Brown and Richard Wood.
Green Bay's starting to come back, Lindsay. They're starting to move the ball. They're not quitting. This is going to be a good ball game.
They've got it in a 2nd and 1 now at the Tampa Bay 42-yard line. Kohler has come out of the ball game. Scott Hutchinson has replaced him. As for the Tampa Bay Bucks defensively, in the down 3, Kaufman in motion across. Campbell with a quick pitch. Huckabee doesn't get the one, might have lost one.
What a defensive play. That was a great defensive play, and at the right time. Now Green Bay has to make a decision. Do they run it? Do they throw the short pass? What do they do? Now they're in a position of making some kind of decision.
It is 3rd down and a yard to go at the 42. Jefferson and Lofton come out. Play a double tight end. Gary Lewis comes in. Pretty good sized fellow.
Just a little bit. They should make him too tall.
Ellis and Huckabee, the setbacks. Ellis. Well, he needed one. I don't think he got it. Cecil Johnson made the head-on hit.
Look at them stuff it. They just setting the tight end up. He's starting to get help from the inside. The linebackers, everybody's in there. Hugh Green, gosh.
So it is short. Although they're going to measure it, I think it's short. They've got the kicker in there. They think it's short, but they're going to measure it anyway. And it's short.
Tampa's starting to stop them now. Tampa doesn't want them coming to Tampa and beating them.
That's John Holt.
After the last 2 disastrous weekends, they got something to prove. And I'll tell you what, the way they're starting off today, they're proving something.
Ray Sakowicz is in to do the punting for the Green Bay Packers. Charliani makes the snap in deep punt formation. Holt moves over. Lets it hit. And it goes into the end zone. Touchback. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Played tag with the flag and went on the end zone side for a touchback. 1st and 10. Tampa, Florida on a sunny afternoon. And the Buccaneers have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20. Wilder and Eckwood of the setback. So Bradford, Giles, Kevin House, and the receivers in the lineup. Doug Williams, the quarterback. Hops it quickly out into the right flat. Battle was on by Kevin House. But it's going to be called incomplete, I think. Estes Hood or whatever, scrapping for the ball. Detroit's leading the Chicago Bears 3-0 in the first quarter. Ed Murray had a 24-yard field goal. And Philadelphia is leading the Giants now by a score of 7-3. Keep in mind that Detroit, Green Bay, Tampa Bay tied for second place in the Central Division, starting today with records of 5-6. And one of the 7 teams in the conference with records of 5-6, those New York Giants. 2nd down and 10 yards to go at the 20. Incomplete on the last pass. Wilder in motion outside. James Owens. Spencer to the 25-yard line.
Lindsey, that first down pass, that was a good play to get you out of, to get you going from that 20-yard line down to the other end of the field. It's too bad House had to drop it, but I'll tell you what, you're not going to see that too much from him. And he has the ability with 4.4 speed. If he catches the ball, he got a little anxious there. If he catches the ball and they miss the tackle, you can say goodbye to 6 points.
Freddie, they're going to drop some. You can't use stick 'em in here.
That's true.
3rd down and 5 yards to go. Williams. Diving catch. No contact, so he can get up in advance. James Owens. Penalty marker goes down. It's at the 37-yard line. Owens reached behind him, pulled it in, was down with no contact, got up and advanced to the 37.
Not only was it a completion, Lindsey, but what a catch he made. This guy came back there for a ball, slipped, and caught the football. What a big play for him.
Let's look.
Here he goes, coming out of the backfield, looking for that flat. Right there. Look at that catch. What a catch for an offensive back to make. Gets up and still going. He's a little determined,
isn't he? Let's listen here.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 50 on the defense. 1st down.
Rich Wingo, man who committed the foul, and that makes it 1st and 10 for Tampa Bay at the Green Bay 48. Owens and Wilder are the setbacks. Short drop, pops it out there again. Kevin House. Oh, some kind of a move, and he moved down near the 35-yard line.
I'll tell you what, you have to give Doug Williams some credit. I mean, he tried to pass down there. It was incomplete. He has to get that ball to House again. But he just came right back to him and got it to him right away, Lindsey.
Spotted just short of the 35. It is a 1st and 10.
That's the best thing Williams could have done. House drops the first one. He comes back a few plays later and gets him the ball again.
Tampa Bay leading by a score of 10-0 and driving here in the 2nd quarter. Doug Williams. James Owens. James Owens. James Owens, touchdown. He used the speed for which he is famous, and he took it all the way in for the TD.
You talk about a team that has come out of the ether, Lindsey. This Tampa Bay team sure has. I'll tell you what.
It's a 35-yard run. Look at James Owens once again. When he sees the daylight there, he's turning it on now, and he's gone.
That's the way you draw it up on a blackboard in the meetings, Lindsey, right there.
Isn't it though? You saw Giles throw a block there in your picture as you saw the playback. This is Capice. Attempt the conversion. Swider will hold for him. And it's good. So now Capice will kick off. Turdell Middleton, Mike McCoy are deep. Bart Starr just had the entire squad around him for a huddle before sending him back out there. McCoy at the 9-yard line. He's at the 10 to 15. Mike McCoy at the 20, 25. Penalty marker on the run back, and he gets up to the 32-yard line. Brad White made the tackle.
The one thing Tampa Bay has to do now is not let that 17 points give them too big of a head. They got to play with that intensity now, just as they have been the whole first half so far.
There's a penalty to be inflicted here on the Green Bay Packers on the run back. Referee Jerry Seaman is pacing it off. Moves the ball half the distance back to the 7-yard line.
Illegal block above the waist during the return, number 37 on the receiving team.
Lindsey, this is when you find out what kind of team you have offensively. You're in a hole. You have 10 minutes left in the second quarter. You're losing 17-0. Now you want to see the character and personality of your football team.
First and 10 at the 7-yard line. Gary Ellis pulled down at the line of scrimmage for no gain by the Buck defense at 2nd and 10 at the 7-yard line. Logan made the tackle. The last two games against Denver and against Minnesota, the Buck defense was charged with not being able to get the ball back for the offense. That was charged that Denver and Minnesota were both able to play ball control, so the offense never really got a chance.
I think that's changed today. 2 weeks, you have to take these games one at a time, and I think that's what Tampa Bay finally decided to forget the last 2 weeks.
Campbell handing it off to Ellis. Logan again coming in to make the tackle at the 10-yard line. We have a further report now on David Whitehurst with a slightly pulled groin muscle. He is capable of coming back in and might be back in the ball game later on. Gain of 3 yards on the last play makes it 3rd and 7 at the 10-yard line. There you see number 17 along the sideline. That is David Whitehurst. So he's here, able, and might play. Stenerud inquiring after his health. Jefferson, Lofton, Cassidy in the ballgame on this play, wide receivers. Ellis the lone setback. Well, penalty marker's thrown. I don't know who else moved. Ellis moved, but we'll find out.
False start, number 19 offense.
Quarterback in a false start. You see him coming back there.
He's just a little too anxious, Lindsey. He doesn't like being backed up into a corner. He wants to get out of there fast and get things moving. The one thing about Whitehurst that Green Bay likes, Lindsey, and it's really a shame that he has this injury, is the fact that he's a type of quarterback that's a fighter, that's going to get your team back in a ball game, and is the type of quarterback can bring your team back.
3rd and 11 at the 5-yard line. Ellis and Huckabee. Ellis. Out to the 19-yard line. Cedric Brown made the tackle. Now for a first down. Bill Kohler is limping off. Look again here at Ellis.
It was a good run play, Lindsey, and the one thing that Tampa Bay can't let happen now is to give Green Bay that little momentum that they really need to try to get back into this ball game, and they need that momentum to get into it again. And the one thing they have to do is be patient. They can't start taking the chances. Just 17 points, it really isn't that much when things start going your way.
They picked up 13 yards on that play to make it a 1st and 10 at the 19, and Bill Kohler limped his way off the field, assisted by members of the training staff. Rich Campbell. And he completes it. Taken by James Lofton. It's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Cecil Johnson made the stop.
Tell you what, Lofton's helping that club move. He's just helping them little by little, and eventually they have to get something going. And this guy is working. Believe me, I don't know what everybody else is doing, or if he's just looking for Lofton. If he feels confident getting the ball to him. Every other weapon they have on offense, he has a great offense to get back in this ball game.
There's Lofton, number 80. Ellis, the lone setbacks in this alignment. J.J. in motion across. Ellis got it to the 44-yard line. Norris Thomas made the tackle. Gain of 5 on the play, making 2nd and 5. The official statistician tells us that the 35-yard run by James Owens a moment ago is the longest touchdown run by a Buck at home.
As you see, Tampa's letting Green Bay have the ball just a little bit too long.
John Holt has replaced Norris Thomas at the left corner for Tampa Bay. 2nd down play coming here. 2nd and 5 at the 44. Harlan Huckabee. Got a yard or so. Andy Hawkins in to make the tackle, along with Hugh Green. Next Saturday, it's the premiere of NCAA basketball on CBS Sports. You'll see the Wolverines of Michigan go up against the University of Arkansas Razorbacks. Next Saturday live, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 Central on CBS Sports. Arkansas led by Scott Hastings at center. Darrell Walker at guard. Michigan is, the Wolverines feature the return of 2nd down, 2 yards to go for the Green Bay Packers. The injury was to Greg Cook. He's assisted off the field. Sid Kitson has replaced him at right tackle for the Green Bay Packers. Ellis and Huckabee are the setbacks. Double tight end alignment. Huckabee. Cecil Johnson there.
That's the 2nd time Tampa Bay has done this in the first half, Lindsay. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't say too much for Green Bay's offense. They got to start doing something to get the ball down the field. Lofton has caught passes for him, has helped him move down the field. You know, he has Kaufman and he has Jefferson there, and it's no time to think about not using Jefferson because he's the type of ball player that you use down the stretch.
That is Dave Logan, the nose tackle, who is injured on that play. So again, we have an injury. Detroit 6, Chicago nothing in the 2nd quarter. And the Giants go ahead of the Philadelphia Eagles again by a score of 10-7. Stankiewicz is back in deep punt formation. John Holt is deep to receive it, standing at his own 20-yard line, receiving it for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bright and sunny here in Tampa. Game time temperature 68 degrees. Retreating and retreating and retreating, and he's got it, but he's coming out of the end zone now. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Runs out of bounds at the 44-yard line, forced out by the kicker, Stankiewicz.
What a run, Lindsay. I mean, this is probably the weakest part of Tampa Bay's game is punt returns, and the strongest part of Green Bay's is a punt coverage. And I'll tell you what, to run the ball out of there, would most receivers would just let the ball go into the end zone.
Freddie, we know this is your first day at CBS, and we're delighted to have you, but we wanted to call on an old friend of yours and former coach to give you a little advice. He's been in this business for 2 or 3 years now, and so we've asked for a little word of advice for you from John Madden.
You know, Saturday's a kind of a preparation day like we used to have. Remember the day before a game when I used to tell you, now watch, Fred, you watch the ball into your hands, you look it all the way, you concentrate. Then the day before the game, you never had any stick-em on you and it would go right through and hit you in the head. Well, broadcasting's the same way. What you do is you watch the mic and you keep it away from you. As the game gets exciting, you bring it in closer, you look it in, and then when it gets real exciting, you just go, hit you right in the head. Simple. No big deal. Relax.
Words of advice.
I'll tell you what, to be able to have the opportunity to play for that guy, you don't know what that fella has done for me, and what a pleasure it was to play for him, believe me.
Is that the way he coached? Was it?
No, he didn't.
53-yard punt, a return of 56-yard, longest punt return in Buck history. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Williams looked as though he wanted to go deep, go short instead. Incomplete to Jimmy Giles.
I'll tell you what, Lizzie, that time they only had 2 men any deep downfield, and I really hate to see Tampa Bay use that type of passing offense where he only has the chance to go to maybe one guy and come back to the second guy. They should give him a few more options in that passing game where he can move the ball downfield consistently.
James Owens has carried 6 times for 58 yards. His 35-yard run for the TD was the longest against the Packers this year. Owens is in there now. 5 minutes, 26 seconds left to play in the first half. Tampa Bay is leading 17-0. 2nd and 10 at the Green Bay 44-yard line. James Owens. Got right to the sticks. John Anderson made the tackle. They'll take a long look for the possible first down. Look again.
I'll tell you what, Lindsey, look at this guy. Everything is stacked up on the outside. He cuts back. He has the speed to cut back to the inside. You don't think he doesn't want to get in that end zone? Look at him. He wants to play. He wants to help fire this team up.
And he got the first down. It's at the 34-yard line. Eckwood comes in now. James Owens comes out. Jerry Eckwood came into this game having rushed for 551 yards, averaged 3.8 per carry. Eckwood. Tampa Bay is moving the football. They have moved it to the 25-yard line. Rich Wingo made the tackle.
And they said they didn't have a running game?
They leave it on the ground, and they moved it down now to 2nd down and 1 yard to go.
People say emotion doesn't play a big part in this football game, Lindsey. The game of football, I'll tell you what, when you come off of 2 weeks like Tampa Bay has, you have to come to this game playing with a lot of emotion. Green Bay has come into this with a little more confidence, maybe with not enough emotion.
Tell you what John McKay says about that in just a moment. Give it to the upback, James Wilder. He got the 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 20. John McKay says that people say football is blocking, tackling, and emotion. He said he's not so sure because he says his wife, Corky, is very emotional and not a very good football player. 1st down, 10 yards to go. It's at the 20-yard line.
I'll tell you what, Green Bay, now it's going to come down to the players and the coaches and what they can do to try to get back in this ball game. They have to do something here. This is an important series for Green Bay.
Wilder to the 11-yard line. George Cumby made the tackle. Picked up 9. Bart Starr, beleaguered Bart Starr along the sideline.
I think he has to get a little emotion on that sideline going, Lindsey. You sit over there. Even the coaches are just standing there with their arms full. They got to get those people fired up. They're in trouble. There's no tomorrow. There's no tomorrow for Green Bay.
That's very true. They came in 5 and 6, and the loser of this game today is not in very good shape for either the division championship or a wild card. Eckwood. Mark Lee made the stop. It's the 1st and 10, and it's at the 7-yard line.
Fortunately enough, Lindsey, these running backs that Tampa Bay have, they can go into that line and bounce out. They're quick enough laterally, and they have that burst upfield. So when things are jammed up in there a little bit with the offensive linemen, it helps the offensive linemen knowing that they get there, it's jammed up, and that guy can just bounce right outside.
We have a leading Green Bay 17-0. The Buccaneers with the ball 1st down, goal to go at the 7-yard line. Buccaneers have not been forced to punt in this entire first half.
You know, Lindsey, maybe Green Bay has come into this game a little too confident, winning 3 games in a row. The last 4 games they played, they averaged 27 points a game, and that's a pretty good average in the NFL nowadays, believe me. But it still comes down to the fact that 5 more weeks to go. Like you said, they have to win today. Both
Mark ready for play. Wilder and Owens are the setbacks. Doug Williams, the quarterback. Wilder moves up. Owens in motion. Williams. Touchdown! Theo Bell. Theo Bell.
Theo Bell. He hasn't caught a touchdown pass this year. In fact, he only has 13 receptions this year. And this is what you need going down the last 5 weeks of the season, where you have to win. You have to get the ball to people that haven't done too much for you up until this point. You got to get people involved in your offense and get them the ball and let them do things to help you win.
Conversion attempt now. Bill Capice with Larry Swider holding. Capice with the conversion. And so, as they come up this time, it is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 24 and the Green Bay Packers nothing. Furnished by the National Football League. Tampa Bay kicking off. Capice will put it up. Turdell Middleton and Mike McCoy are deep for the Green Bay Packers. McCoy at the goal line 5. He's out to the 10, 15, 20, 22.
You know, Lindsey,
Stop by 1.
Lindsey on a touchdown. It was really good. I was watching Theo Bell. He got stuck in between the 2 defensive backs. Williams didn't have anybody to throw the ball to, and he had the patience to wait for him. And Theo Bell had enough experience to work his way around to get open, to get to the open spot where Williams had someone to throw the ball to.
And it was Williams' 13th touchdown pass of this season, the first TD catch of the year for Theo Bell. Jerry Ellis, Harlan Huckabee are the setbacks now. Rich Campbell. Neil Cozy made the tackle. Coming up at halftime, Brennan Eyre with all the scores and highlights, plus a special look at some Packer fans who've combined music with football to turn a nifty profit at halftime. You see the time remaining inside lower right-hand portion of your screen. Rich Campbell. Pulled in by John Jefferson, and he got away. And now it is Neil Cozy in possession. Cozy got it for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers off the fingertips of Jefferson.
What a great interception, Lindsey. I'll tell you what, Campbell, he's a rookie, and I'll tell you what, he should, even a rookie at this point in the ball game, being 24 points behind, you can't start to get desperate. You gotta sit back. You gotta be realistic that there's only a minute and some to go in the first half. If you can't get any points on the board, at least don't give the ball up. And he made the biggest mistake in the world, throwing the ball in the middle. Hey, every one of those guys in that secondary can catch the football for Tampa.
It is not a happy day for Bart Starr. First attempt at 32. Eckwood and Wilder are the setbacks. Eckwood looking. Lost a yard to the 33. Eckwood carrying. Second and 11. Butler made the tackle. Timeout taken by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Much lately, they're having a ball this afternoon. They're going to make the most of it. Second out, 11 yards to go. 1 minute to play in the first half. Owens carrying. James Owens. Stopped at the 26-yard line. Ezra Johnson in to make the tackle.
Well, one thing for sure, Lindsey, Tampa is keeping the ball away from Green Bay. And when you don't have the ball that often, you really don't have that many chances.
The Bucs at the 26-yard line of Green Bay. They go into the shotgun. Direct snap to that man, Doug Williams. Williams. And complete. James Owens. First and 10. Inside the 15-yard line.
I'll tell you, Lindsey.
Timeout.
Being down in that position in the field, coming out in a shotgun ball, maybe a fumble, I don't think he's going to put it in the air. He may surprise everybody and put it in the end zone.
Clock starts on the snap, 46 seconds in the half. They can't stop it with a timeout anymore. Williams. Incomplete. Wilder, but he couldn't keep him in.
Lindsey, the good thing Doug Williams did on that, throwing a ball down there like that, wanting to get a touchdown on the board, another touchdown before halftime, is he threw it on the outside. If anything's going to happen, that's where you want to keep the ball. The biggest mistake he could have made was throwing it down the middle, but he was smart enough to keep the ball on the outside, and that shows you that this guy out here does know what he's doing when he goes on a football field, and he does have the imagination, and he does know what he wants to do with his football team.
Second and 10 at the 15. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers use messenger guards. Ray Snell and George Yarno alternate in and out, bringing in the information. Second down, 10 yards to go. In the shotgun once again. Williams to the end zone. Incomplete. Owens was the man down there toward the corner. It's third and 10 to the 15-yard line. Douglas covering, the linebacker covering. You see the time remaining inside lower right-hand corner of your screen.
I'll tell you what, he threw it out of the end zone. That's the best thing. That's the best thing they could have done. He had a receiver underneath coming short, but I'll tell you what, Lindsey, at this time, at this part of the game, with this little time left, you know, you throw somebody the ball under there, and especially when you're an outside receiver, you don't especially like to get knocked around and maybe fumble the ball and give Green Bay a chance to come up with a big play.
And you can't stop the clock. You have no more timeouts left. Third and 10. Okay, he'll take a direct snap up under center. Almost intercepted by McCoy. Mike McCoy almost intercepted. Fourth down, the field goal unit comes on. Capice coming out.
Lindsey, I don't know who threw that one in there, but I'll tell you what, that was it. If Green Bay ever had a chance to turn this game around a little bit, there it was. And that's one break. When you get something like that, you'd have to be able to capitalize on it. I'll tell you, there was mistakes on both parts. Doug Williams should have never thrown that ball out there with this score at this little time of the game. He took a big chance, and Green Bay missed an opportunity of intercepting it.
The only thing to stop it would have been the Gulf of Mexico. Here is a 33-yarder, a 33-yard field goal by Capice to make the score 27-0. A 33-yard field goal by Capice. Clock says 30 seconds, giving a field day at the expense of the Green Bay Packers. Capice will kick off. Turdell Middleton, Mike McCoy are the deep men. McCoy, 5 yards deep in the end zone, touchback. He will not run it out.
I wonder what Capice had for breakfast.
He has really been getting a lot of leg into that football.
He sure has been. I think he kicked one short. That was to about the 10-yard line, somewhere around there. But I'll tell you what, the other ones have been right either at the goal line or in the end zone.
Well, they sent some strong people out of Tallahassee and Florida State.
Thank you.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line. Cassidy, Lofton, Jefferson, wide receivers. Rich Campbell, the quarterback. Brings it out to Jerry Ellis. Jerry Ellis at the 26-yard line. Second down and 4 yards to go. Hawkins made the tackle. Clock is running.
The way things have been going for Green Bay, I think I just run 2 quarterback sneaks and get in the locker room and try to regroup a little bit and hope you can get back in this ball game.
I think you're right. Let well enough alone.
Yeah.
This will be the last play of the half. Ellis has got the ball. And he goes out of bounds. It is at the 28-yard line in the football game of the season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. John Stillerud is teeing it up. Packers receive the opening kickoff, so they can't get the ball to start the second half.
The defense is going to have to sort of set the tone for the second half, Lindsey, and I believe that if Green Bay expects to get back in this game, whatever happens on this return here, they're going to have to cover it. They're going to have to keep Green Bay down there in a hole and try to keep them in a hole, not give them any breathing room, so they have a chance to come back and score some points.
James Owens is back there. Taking on the far side at the 3-yard line. Return to the 10 to the 15. Holt it is, and he's at the 25. And Holt goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Well, it'll be first and 10.
When you're a rookie like Holt, Lindsey, I'll tell you what, you have an opportunity. You have a couple opportunities to help your team out on special teams, and believe me, like even there, he could have just sat there and took it straight up, beat tackle, and put it down, but he took the chance of trying to get outside and trying to get upfield and score with the football. And, you know, I don't know if it's maybe a rookie, when you're a rookie, a little naive, you don't know what to do, but not too many people are going to try to take that chance, and he's trying to score again for him.
He is young and bold. Doug Williams, the quarterback. Advanced by Eckwood to the 34-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play makes it 2nd down and 8. Rich Wingo in to make the tackle.
It's going to be interesting to see, Lindsey, that if Tampa Bay with this 27-point lead, to see how they're going to play this half, especially this third quarter offensively. If they're going to still try to move the ball upfield, give Green Bay a chance to think about things, start giving their defense a lot of problems, and keep the ball away from them.
House goes to the left side. Theo Bell to the right side. Running backs in an eye. Back off to a wing right. That's Obradovich. Obradovich in motion across. Eckwood. Cut off at the pass by linebacker John Anderson. Loss of 4 on the play will make it 3rd and 12.
Green Bay's getting started a little pretty good this third quarter, Lindsey. They're starting to set the tone in the second half a little bit with their defense, and hopefully, like I said, they had one outside chance on that pass down here in the second quarter to come up with an interception. They did, but the thing was the opportunity was there, and when opportunities start coming one, they may start coming in bunches.
James Owens is in and out the tailback. They're going into the shotgun, direct snap. Williams. Taken by James Owens. James Owens to the 40. James Owens, who is having the best day of his professional football life, takes it to the 44. Harvey and Butler made the stop.
How many teams, Lindsey, do you see throwing a one-man screen? They got one lineman out there to block for him. He plays off that lineman right there to cut the ball back up inside and get upfield for the first down. That was a big play. That was really a big play for Tampa to move the ball.
I know some ball players who wouldn't make too many catches on a one-man screen. First and 10 at the 44. Dennis Owens. Did a bug here, doodad there, and down the sideline, out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
I think he had one of those headsets on with the radio, Lindsey. He's dancing around out there.
Doug with you. Got something to yell about here this afternoon.
What a dance he did to get upfield.
Steve Wilson is out with his neck injury for the remainder of the afternoon, is the word from the sideline. Owens now has carried 9 times for 91 yards for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have a 1st and 10 at the 40. Wilder carried the up back. Got it most a yard to the 39, which would make it 2nd and 9. Wilder and Gary Ellis of the Green Bay Packers were at Missouri at the same time. As a matter of fact, on road trips, they were roommates.
2nd and 9.
Messenger guard coming into 72, you see there. That's Ray Snell. He and Joy Jarno alternate. Keeps them in shape.
I think the one thing that Tampa Bay would want to do at this time in the game now, Lindsey, is not call too many plays that are going to get discouraged and not get any yardage on.
Eckwood and Wilder split backs. Doug Williams. Mark Lee intercepted for the Green Bay Packers. There's a marker down at the line of scrimmage. There is a marker. And it's being reported to the referee. Look again. Doug Williams, the quarterback. Jimmy Giles, the intended receiver.
I think he could have made a different choice on that, Lindsey. I don't think he necessarily had to throw it down there in the middle where all the trouble is. He's moving his team pretty good. They have the momentum going. One thing they don't want to happen now is have it taken away from them. That could have been kind of a little thing he tried to get away with.
Penalty against Tampa Bay has been declined because they want the football and they get it and keep it at their own 10-yard line. So when play is resumed, it is Green Bay's ball, 1st and 10 at the 10. While the Tampa Bay defense, Scott Hutchinson's playing the defensive left end in place of Bill Cola, who went off on a cart after having been injured in the first half. During the intermission, he was taken off the field on a cart. Rich Campbell handing it off this time to Gary Ellis. Out to the 14-yard line for 4, makes it 2nd down and 6. Dave Stalls made the tackle. John Holtz playing the left corner in place of Norris Thomas as well in the Tampa Bay defense.
This is a tough area for Green Bay to really do anything. It's a surprise Tampa, Lindsey, but I would think that they need a big boost right now. And they have 2 guys on the outside that they could throw the ball to anytime they want to. And I think this time they have to start getting it to them.
I think you're right. That's Coffin in motion outside right. Rich Campbell just swings it out. Gary Ellis. He went out of bounds at the 15. They picked up 1 yard on the completed pass. Dave Logan made the tackle. It'll be 3rd and 5 at the 15-yard line.
By David Logan.
They say that the first possession is ultra important at the start of the second half, especially if you're down 27 points.
A little bit. And I think, geez, I just don't understand it. You know, they got to start throwing some formations out there at Tampa Bay, something where people start having to cover, where people can make mistakes in the defense. Right now, they're not having anybody making mistakes in Tampa's defense.
Jefferson far left, Lofton far right, Ellis the lone setback. Lofton pulled it in. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Norris Thomas covering on that corner there. Look at it again. Lofton makes his move and pulls it in as Thomas made his move and couldn't get there.
Good catch. Just a second too late.
Gary Harris. Please report to the stadium office. Gary Harris, report to the stadium office, please.
Rich Campbell brings them up, the rookie from the University of California, Berkeley. Huckabee and Ellis are the setbacks. Campbell. Intercepted at the 40 by Holt. John Holt returning it. And so it is 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line for Tampa Bay. Lofton, the intended receiver. Holt intercepted and returned it. Look again.
I'll tell you what, Lizzie.
There's the interception. Holt juggled it for a while. James Owens.
Guy is running the ball super today. He's getting blocking. Something that you look at that we sort of miss, Lindsey, is they're talking about that offensive line a little bit for Tampa. I mean, it's been like a juggling act.
He's up there about 100 yards now.
He sure is.
Got a 1st down. He's at the 16-yard line. And he has 101 yards now. James Owens does. 10 rushes. Eckwood and Wilder in the I formation for Williams. Move Eckwood over to a left set. Whistle stops play. Illegal procedure against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That'll cost them 5.
I just don't understand it, Lindsey. Yesterday afternoon when I watched Green Bay work out, they came in with so much enthusiasm. Looked like they had a truck full of confidence with them. And I'll tell you what, looking at them,
number
even at the beginning of
73
this
in the
ball game,
offense.
looked like they were worried. And they came in here winning 3 games in a row. Really the dominant team as far as coming into this type of ball game.
Bart Starr, Zeke Bratkowski. 5-yard penalty puts the ball in the 21. Charlie Hanna was the man who moved on the last play. Williams has got it. Down to the right side. And it goes complete. Taken by Giles. Tight end Giles to the 6-yard line. I think he's got enough for a 1st and goal. I think it'll be marked very close, and then they'll take a long look. Maurice Harvey made the tackle.
That's one thing about Williams. He has the ability to take the ball out there and isolate himself against that corner or linebacker and either run the ball or hit the guy that's in the open. And that time he had a wide open receiver. Just a little toss, gets down there, possibly gets him a 1st down, and they're moving the ball once again.
As they spot it now, it looks like it might be an inch or 2 short, but we'll find out quickly. 1st and goal. Look at it again.
Look at this. And he has the speed to get by people, too, Lindsey. Look at Giles.
First and goal at the 6. James Owens has 146 yards rushing and receiving for the afternoon. John McKay, head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Owens and Wilder in the I formation. Owens stopped at the 10-yard line for a loss of 4. Second and goal at the 10. Mike McCoy in to make the tackle there for the Green Bay Packers. We have 8 minutes 45 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter. Tampa Bay is leading 27-0.
They're sending some of the receivers back in there, Lindsey. They want another score. They want another touchdown.
How much is enough? They want all they can get.
They sure do.
Owens and Wilder. Williams. Pulled incomplete. Taken at the 4-yard line by Jimmy Giles. Mark Murphy made the tackle.
What a catch he made there. Talk about fingertip catches. There's one right there, Lindsey.
It was that.
And without Stickum.
That's a no-no.
Look at this catch. He did a good job staying in bounds. Look at that. Woo. Look at that.
Right on the fingertip.
Yes, sir. That guy doesn't need any Stickum.
Third down and goal to go at the 4-yard line. Owens and Wilder. Dropped the ball. Williams did. And I think Green Bay recovered, and they did at the 6-yard line. The Green Bay Packers get the football.
Well, you really had Tampa's possession that time, Lindsey, and the good thing about it is they've got that clock running down for them. So now it becomes a matter of time for Green Bay. They got to start doing something that they haven't been doing the whole first half and part of this second.
Got a field goal. Ricardo got a field goal. Holmes had a touchdown, and Earl Campbell had a 1-yard run for a touchdown. Here it's Green Bay first and 10 at the 6. Campbell. Incomplete to Lofton. Out there at the 23. Cedric Brown covering.
Watch this, Lindsey. Now this is how you end a receiver's career. Going it, he should have had it. I think he was peeking a little bit.
I wouldn't blame him if he did.
No, I wouldn't either.
Second down and 10 yards to go at the 6-yard line. By the draw play. With Ellis carrying. And he's out there to the 14-yard line. Cecil Johnson made the tackle.
I'd like to see him throw one long pass today.
Yeah, it's about time. Next Sunday, it starts with the NFL today, and then the Green Bay Packers are at Minnesota, the leading team.
Kaufman, you talk about tight ends being a receiver. He's going to catch the ball. I don't know exactly what kind of speed he has, but I'll tell you what, he's going to catch the ball for you. And at this time in a ball game, Lindsey, to keep possession of that football, to move it consistently, you have to get it to a guy like Kaufman. Get it downfield. You're going to get 10, 15 yards of crack out of him.
3 wide receivers in the ball game now. Ellis is the lone setback. Rich Campbell. Ellis, the intended receiver. Bart Starr, not entirely pleased. Richard Wood covering defensively.
That pass play is surprising to me, Lindsey. Believe me, they didn't have one receiver not even 10 yards deep. Not one receiver. And they're losing 27-0. And I don't know. Maybe I was born at the wrong time.
Well, I agree with you. They don't have time to go 10 yards at a time. Not now with 6 minutes, 35 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Kaufman in motion outside right. Rich Campbell. Now he goes up the middle line. Lofton is looking around to see if there's any call of interference, because he felt Richard Wood around there somewhere, but there is not. Cecil Johnson in the area as well.
He had an outside shot at John Jefferson one-on-one with Norris Thomas over there, going to the post down the middle, and you know Lofton's going to drag all those safeties, the two safeties up there in the middle, and give that post a chance to open up back there, and he had a shot for Jefferson.
3rd and 10 at the 40-yard line. Jefferson and Lofton, the wide receivers. Rookie Rich Campbell, the quarterback. Crossing over the middle. Gary Ellis, incomplete. Punting unit comes on. Richard Wood was the linebacker who made the move. And the hand is for the defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Campbell's going to get a few people mad on this offensive team. He keeps throwing it where there's 2 or 3 or 4 people around, and these guys are starting. Luckily, no one's taken a good shot yet.
Stagowitz is back to punt. Holt has dropped back to receive it. It drives Holt back, way back. Fields it finally at the 7-yard line. Gets up to the 10. And is pulled down at the 11-yard line by Jensen.
Johnny Holt returns to about the 12-yard line.
So now the Tampa Bay Bucks get the ball once again. That was a Tampa Bay with the ball 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Jerry Eckwood and James Wilder are the setbacks for Doug Williams. And it's James Wilder.
Tell you what, Lindsey, Green Bay has got to keep him down there this series of plays.
This is the remaining schedule for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. New Orleans, then Atlanta, San Diego, and Detroit. They trail Minnesota by 2. They are still in the hunt as far as the division championship is concerned, and even more so for a possible wild card. That's why they knew that today was an extra specially important afternoon for them. Ezra Johnson. And there defensively. Wilder and Eckwood. Eckwood in motion. Wilder gets the ball. And somebody got Wilder at the 10-yard line. Mike Butler. Here's the remaining schedule for this season for the Green Bay Packers. They play the Minnesota Vikings, the team that is on top, leading both of these teams by 2 games starting play today. Minnesota, by the way, doesn't play today. They play Monday night. Then Green Bay plays Detroit. They play New Orleans. They play the New York Jets. So things will not look entirely bright for the Green Bay Packers if this game continues the way it is, and the Bucs are leading by a score of 27-0. Estes Hood in there in the nickel now for the Green Bay Packers. Shotgun formation for Doug Williams of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Retreats to the end zone. Goes the screen left, taken by Wilder. Ball is going to be spotted enough for the first down, I think, with that last little doodad.
It's a little determined.
Estes Hood was the defender there. Look at it again.
This is the second time, Lindsey, that they've run a successful screen against Green Bay. The first one was just a 1-man out there. This time it's with 2 men out there. If he would have got a little better block, he might have got a little more yardage. But as it is, he got the first down and got him out of the hole.
It's at the 22-yard line. First and 10. Owens is in there now at the tailback. James Owens with the football. Looking for a corner to turn. He goes out at the 25. Mark Murphy ran him out. He picked up 3. Second down and 7.
You know, an important thing here, Lindsey, with the clock winding down a little bit in this third quarter, the thing that they should realize offensively, too, is they want to keep that ball in a playing field and keep that clock running. They don't want to get out of bounds. You know, Owens, you know, he's playing his first game. He's having a great day today. But you know, that's the one thing. Even though you're this far ahead, you still got to think with a little bit of intelligence and get the ball up the field and keep it in the playing field.
Second down, 7 yards to go. By the draw play to Owens. James Owens. This time to the 27. Stopped by John Anderson and George Cumbie. Gain of 2 makes it 3rd down and 5 yards to go. As you see James Owens coming back to the huddle. During his tenure with the San Francisco 49ers, they tried him at a running back. He was a running back at UCLA. And then they tried him as a wide receiver. They tried him as a deep man on the returns. They tried him as a deep defender at one time. And then put him back out as a wide receiver and traded him to Tampa Bay.
He found a home.
He did indeed. Owens. I think he got the first right at it. Mark Murphy and John Anderson made the tackle. They're looking to see about the possible first down. They'll bring out the chain and measure. It's at the 32-yard line, just in advance of the 32. First and 10 at the 32-yard line. Next Saturday, it's the premiere of NCAA basketball on CBS Sports. You'll see the Wolverines of Michigan go up against the University of Arkansas Razorbacks. Next Saturday live, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on CBS Sports. Arkansas led by Scott Hastings at center, Darrell Walker at guard. Michigan featuring one of the top freshmen in the country, Eric Turner. And it all starts next week. First 10 at the 32. Williams has the ball. Incomplete. Diving catch attempted by Theo Bell. Covering is Maurice Harvey. 2nd and 10.
He had him a little short into the ground.
Owens has now carried 14 times for 109 yards. 3 minutes, 2 seconds remaining to be played in the 3rd quarter here in Tampa, Florida. Green Bay Packers arrived here yesterday, worked out yesterday afternoon, had 2 days in Green Bay, this week working indoors. Try the reverse play this time. Kevin House. Kevin House. Stopped at the 35-yard line. Gained about 3 yards. George Cumbie made the tackle.
But this is a great opportunity for Tampa, Lindsay, to really work on a few things that they haven't had the chance to work on for the next games coming up, like this reverse. They give other teams that they're going to play, something to think about. Throw some other plays at them.
Look at the reverse again. End around, actually. Kevin House carrying the football, but he's closed off at the pass here by the Green Bay defense. He got only 3 yards on the play. Of course, the past 2 weeks against Denver and Minnesota, Tampa Bay didn't get to work much on their offense because they didn't have the ball. Doug Williams in the shotgun here.
Green Bay needs a really defensive play now.
Complete. Jimmy Giles still on his feet and out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
He can pull a few people downfield with him. Let's look at this play. Doug Williams makes a great throw here. Great throw. Good thing about Jimmy Giles right there. He got downfield, turned around. He knew he had room to the outside. It just gave Williams a chance to throw it to him. It's just like they stand in practice and play catch. That's exactly how Giles looked, Lindsay.
29 yards on the play. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. 2:02 on the clock remaining in the 3rd quarter. That's Doug Williams, the quarterback. Owens to the 34. Picked up 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. John Anderson made the tackle for the Green Bay Packers. Ray Snell coming in, messenger guard with the next play. Kevin House and Theo Bell, the double to the left side. James Owens and James Wilder in the I formation. Williams. Incomplete. Theo Bell sprinting down the sideline. Maurice Harvey covering defensively. It'll be 3rd down and 7 at the 34. Well, as you know, Bart Starr has been under considerable pressure even before the start of the season. As a matter of fact, last season he was under pressure. He said before the start of this year, was quoted as saying that he figured that he had to have a winning season with the Green Bay Packers in order to stay. Coming into this game this afternoon, it was 5-6. Williams, Wilder. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Mark Lee made the tackle.
That's almost the identical play they ran earlier in the ball game in the first half, Lindsey. But this time House just went there and ran a little turn in down there, kept the linebacker on the inside, got the defensive corner backing up, and Williams found the back in the flat there all alone.
Got about 50 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. We've had no scoring in this quarter. 27-zip was the halftime score. 12 yards on the last play. Eckwood and Wilder are the setbacks. Williams with the ball. Williams with the ball. Pulled down at the 14 by George Cumbie, linebacker.
That time I think he got caught in between, Lindsey. I think it's sort of, he saw it wide open, thought he could run it in, but I think he should have threw it to Giles. Why take the beating when you get the ball upfield and let the bigger guy take the beating?
And the gun has sounded, ending the period. Letnikoff and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are leading 27-0. Lynn Dickey is loosening up along that sideline, along the Packers sideline. 2nd down, 2 yards to go at the 14 for Tampa Bay in Green Bay territory. Leave it on the ground to Wilder. James Wilder, penalty marker thrown. George Cumbie again on the tackle. There is Dickey. Who was the starting quarterback for much of the season. Illegal use of hands is the indication. Referee Seaman. Bill Nelson is just to the side of Coach John McKay there. Nelson is the quarterback coach and played for McKay actually at Southern Cal when both were there.
Well, I wonder if they've gotten a stomach full of consistency today, Lindsey.
Illegal use of hands, number 74 in the offense.
This has to be great for Tampa Bay. Going down to these last 5 weeks, today's game, 4 more weeks ago. They got a tough schedule ahead of them, but I'll tell you what, to come out here and play this way against a team that came in here playing so well. It's unbelievable how they're playing today.
Little administration to be taken care of here with the referee. It has to do with the clock, which says we have 4 minutes 55 seconds left to play in the game, and I don't believe that.
Went awfully fast,
didn't it, though? Seemed like just a moment ago that it was 15 minutes.
Yeah. Playing by the hometown rules, Lindsey.
That's it.
The proper time should be 14:55. Please adjust it. Proper time is 14:55.
Proper time is 14:55. Do not adjust the clock on your wall. That is time remaining to be played in this game. And it is Bart Starr contemplating the time.
He doesn't look too happy, Lindsey.
No, it hasn't been that kind of a day for the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. All right, here we go. 2nd and 10 at the 22. Owens tries that doodad again and gains nothing. Mike Butler made the tackle.
See Doug Williams come in here try to throw a block. How many quarterbacks would do this with a 27-0 lead? Not too many.
That's a violation of the quarterbacks union, as a matter of fact.
It sure is. Usually you just point. The quarterbacks usually just point.
That one, yes. Third and 10 at the 22.
Okay.
Eckwood and Wilder. Shotgun. Doug Williams gets the direct snap. He gets more than that. He gets Butler and he gets Turner.
That's just to sort of make Williams aware that they can still get to him and make him a little humble again. And I think that he really needs that now. I mean, they've been riding a pretty good crest of the wave so far this game. And I'll tell you what, there's nothing that can help you more than bring you back down to earth a little bit. But geez, Williams is such a great guy, Lindsay. I'll tell you, the time I got to spend with him yesterday, he was taking this whole thing that was happening here with Tampa, the offense not playing well, on his own shoulders. He's worried about the ball players, how they're going to react, and he wanted to come out here and prove that he could move the team consistently, and he has.
Capice is trying a 51-yarder, and the 51-yarder is good. It's good. 51 yards by Capice.
When you're hot, you're hot.
When you're hot, you're red hot.
And for a guy 3'11", kicking it
by anybody in this stadium. So Capice will kick it off now, and they've got Huckabee back there with Turdell Middleton this time. Take it at the 10 by Huckabee. Alan Huckabee returns it, and is stopped by Brad White at the 27-yard line.
A lot of people in Tallahassee, Florida happy.
Absolutely. Capice out of Florida State. Tonight on CBS starts with 60 Minutes. And then Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke star in Walt Disney's Academy Award-winning hit Mary Poppins. It's all tonight on CBS.
Let's see if Green Bay has changed anything, Lindsay. I'll tell you what, with that, I don't understand it. I hate to even keep mentioning it time after time, but with those people on offense, it's one of the best offenses in the country. The people in it, at least.
Still Campbell at quarterback, gets it over to Ellis. Gary Ellis on the crossing pattern goes out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Cecil Johnson made the tackle. So that's the 1st and 10 for the Pack. Buccaneers are leading by a score of 30-0.
Has to be tough for those receivers in Green Bay, Lindsay, because I know how it is, and it's frustrating to be able to play with people in your offense that can catch the ball, that can move the ball for you, and not be able to get the passes to the people who should be given to. It's just too unbelievable. It's frustrating for them.
Rich Campbell 8 for 15. Gets it out there to Ellis again, but he can't advance. It'll be marked at the 42-yard line for 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7. That was Andy Hawkins hanging on to him.
See Norris Thomas fly over him. Now, Norris Thomas is the nephew of Jimmy Marcellus. That's where he gets his aggressiveness.
That'll give it to you.
It sure will.
Middleton and Ellis are the setbacks. Rich Campbell. That's Ellis. 45-43. Hawkins and Johnson on the tackle. Another 1st and 10.
Stopped again by Andy Hawkins. 1st and 10.
Lofton must be the only one on a radar screen.
Jefferson to the left side, Lofton to the right side. Still Middleton and Ellis. Hoffman in motion outside left. Rich Campbell. Swings it out, incomplete. Forward pass, incomplete. Then it's for Ellis. Detroit 9, Chicago 7. Keep in mind, Detroit started the day in a tie with these two teams for 2nd place, 2 games behind Minnesota, and the Giants, who started 5 and 6, are in a 10-10 tie with the Philadelphia Eagles. Next Sunday starts with the NFL today. Then Green Bay is at Minnesota. Tampa Bay is at New Orleans. And the doubleheader game, Atlanta at Houston. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. Jefferson in motion across right. Rich Campbell. Lofton with a skidding catch at the 22. First and 10. Tell me about that kind of a catch, Fred, Biletnikoff.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lindsey, as long as the ball comes in there fast like that, as soon as you make your break, it's in there quick and you can catch the ball. If you're sliding in there, if you're standing up, it becomes an easy catch. But when you have to work your way across that middle and you're waiting for the ball, you know everybody's starting to close in on you. And as soon as that ball starts coming towards you, you better take at least 2 or 3 steps back for it.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line. Jensen carried. Hugh Green made the tackle.
Lofton is one of the few people I've seen, you know, watching him today, that when he gets in that middle, he knows how to work his way across the middle. He'll give the quarterback a chance to get the ball to him by slowing up a little bit or turning the speed back on. But he knows how to work across that middle well.
Packers are driving here now. They lost 2 yards on the last play at 2nd and 12 at the 24. The Packers have not been shut out since 1978. They have not scored here this afternoon. Campbell batted back into his face. Batted back right there, so it is incomplete.
That time Tampa had both outside receivers double. Neil Colsey and Norris Thomas had a combination going on John Jefferson, and I think he was trying to go to Jefferson. On the other side, they had Lofton inside and outside, so it would be kind of difficult to get the ball to either one of those two.
10 minutes, 34 seconds left to play on this game. Buccaneers of Tampa Bay leading 30-0. It's the most points scored by the Bucs this year. Previous high was 28 against Detroit. Rich Campbell dropped way back at the 35-yard line by Dave Stahls. Stahls, who is playing the defensive right end in place of Leroy Selman today. Look again.
Good pressure on him, Lindsey. They're chasing him out of the pocket. They're going to find out how good this rookie is. They're putting a lot of pressure on him. It's kind of easy when you have 30 points. You can start throwing everything in the kitchen sink at the quarterback. But even if he did have time, I was watching the secondary, and they had everybody pretty well covered, too.
Stenerud is going to try a 53-yarder. A 53-yard field goal attempt by Stenerud. Stakowicz is holding. His longest 44 for this year. 44. And it's good. The Green Bay Packers are on the scoreboard.
15 years. 15 years, and he's sticking with it.
15 years of experience, and Jan Stenerud comes in to get the 53-yarder to put a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get it once again. That field goal by Stenerud. The 53-yarder is the longest field goal in Packer history. Paul Hornung once kicked a 52-yarder. This is a 53-yarder, the longest field goal in Packer history. This has been a day for the record books. We've had them all afternoon. Afternoon for the faithful of the Buccaneers. Ricky Bell and Tony Davis are in there now. Ricky Bell and Tony Davis are the running backs. Ricky Bell. Bell moves it out to the 24-yard line before Mike McCoy comes in to make the tackle. A gain of 4. 2nd and 6. Here is Steve Wilson, who started the ball game today, but he dabbles in the music field as well, and we're going to listen to a little Steve Wilson music.
When I see your face in the morning sun, I wonder what it is I've ever done to deserve the love of someone like you. With you the world is a brighter place.
Not too bad. I wonder if it's all right to sing along. Ricky Bell.
Who has to sing, Lindsey?
Stopped by Rich Wingo at the 24.
Well, they'll be singing tonight, that's for sure.
Teddy, with that close-up, looking at that fella, I'm not going to sing along until I ask permission.
Well, I'll tell you what, you have to. And you better show up the next time he sings.
Absolutely. Applauding wildly. 3rd and 6 at the 24-yard line. Wilder and Ricky Bell now are the setbacks. Ricky Bell to the 30. Fumbles the ball. Green Bay Packers recover it. And it's being run back by Anderson. John Anderson, the linebacker, recovered the fumble. It is first down just outside the 17-yard line.
Well, that's unfortunate to have that happen. The first time you get a chance to handle the ball coming in a game, you have to be a little cold, not making excuses for the guy, because I mean it's his job to catch the football and run with it, not fumble. But the fact is, you come in here, the game gets out of hand. You know what the score is on the scoreboard.
So the Green Bay Packers have the football. Team of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay leading 30-3 in the 4th quarter. Campbell throwing, and it's batted back incomplete. Dave Stahl's got a hand on it. 2nd and 10 at the 17. Fred Biletnikoff, I know this is not Tallahassee, but you've been down a couple of days in this part of Florida. Have you been able to visit with some of your former acquaintances and friends around here?
I sure have, and I'll tell you what, it's been great to see him. And I haven't talked to a fellow I went to school with a few years ago. His parents, his mother works over at the hotel, and I talked with her the other night, talked with his dad on the phone, talked to other few people around here. It feels good to be back here.
They still remember you in these parts, sir.
I must have left an impression.
That's it. That's incomplete. That was Ellis trying to hang on to it. Hawkins covering defensively. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Here's one of our my rivals.
Well, Ray Graves was in for a visit before the ball game, the former head coach at the University of Florida. So we've been doing a little visiting. You're right. It wouldn't be bad in your case unless the people said to you, what did you do after you left Florida State?
Where have you been?
What kind of work have you been in? Middleton and Ellis are the setbacks. Rich Campbell. Hayes got it out there in the flat. And it's Cedric Brown again. Once again, it's Cedric Brown. Well, he can't go all the way this time, but he goes to the 35-yard line, and Rich Campbell is the man who made the tackle. Cedric Brown.
That's one thing Campbell will learn quick, Lindsay, is that the ball players that he played in college are just a little step slower, and these veterans that he's playing against will jump in there and pick it off, and you better start chasing him.
So Cedric Brown runs it back, and when play is resumed, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bay's turned it over 4 times. Tampa Bay's turned it over 3 times. 1st and 10 for the Bucs at the 35-yard line of the Green Bay Packers. Ricky Bell, Tony Davis for the setbacks. Ricky Bell at the 27-yard line. Cumbie made the stop.
That's really unfortunate. The last time Ricky Bell had the ball that he had to fumble, because the thing you want to do now, and in a position you are now with the game so out of hand here with Tampa Bay, is to be positive in everything you do.
This Thursday, Thanksgiving, the NFL Today starts the programming, and then it's Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. Live from Dallas, Texas, 3:30 Eastern Time. Ricky Bell again. He's got the 1st and 10. And he drives it to the 20-yard line. Stopped by Merrill. That last interception return by Cedric Brown officially was a 50-yard return. He had one for 81 yards earlier. A beleaguered Bart Starr. Get a look at Ricky Bell. So the shoulder injuries kept him on the sidelines much of the year. Detroit 16, Chicago Bears 7, and it is the Pittsburgh Steelers 25, Cleveland 10 in the 4th quarter. Go to the up back, Wilder. Got it to the 17-yard line before Casey Merrill made the stop.
Doug Williams is really starting to use the running game, giving it to Ricky Bell, get him back in some type of running form for this for these next 4 games coming up. He's letting the offensive line in there blocking, trying to get them back to the point where everybody has confidence running behind them, give them some confidence that they can handle these guys on defense. And they're sort of setting up things for the coming weeks, and I'll tell you, they look pretty good.
2nd and 7. Ricky Bell. Got a couple of yards. Turner in to make the tackle. It's going to be marked at the 14, which will make it 3rd down and 4 at the 14.
You look at Green Bay statistically, Lindsey, and I'll tell you what, they look like world beaters. Now today they ran into a brick wall. They just had to run into a brick wall, caught a team that was hot, got hot on them. It was night and day coming into this game. You looked at Green Bay had done what Tampa had done, you would never even expect this today.
Absolutely. Doug Williams. Ricky Bell. He's got the first. That last little effort got the first down, and it was Wilder. Rich Wingo made the top tackle. James Wilder picked it up. 1st and 10. That last little lunge did it. Chuck Fusino is coming into the ball game now. Quarterback Chuck Fusino is coming in. Williams is going out, and he's getting a standing ovation. Boy, what a turnaround, as he can hear the cheers that only a week ago were not quite like that.
Well, I can imagine what he feels right now, seeing these people getting up, clapping for him. Almost predicting yesterday when I talked with him what he was going to do today.
Chuck Fusino, the Penn Stater, is the quarterback now. Going to try to bootleg right. Wanted to throw, decides he'll run it. Gets inside the 5 and is out of bounds about the 2-yard line. Casey Merrill pulled him out.
Fought to get away from that tackler, Lindsey. Fought to get the football upfield.
Fusino getting a little adjustment there.
I'm sure he'd like to take this team in for a score.
Second down, goal to go. Ball's at the 2-yard line. Bucks now have 202 yards rushing for the afternoon. Bart Starr looking on. Fusino brings them up. Wilder and Bell are the setbacks. Ricky Bell gets a yard to the 1, where it'll be 3rd down and goal to go. Braggs made the tackle for Green Bay. Clock is running with 3 minutes 5 seconds left to play in this game. George Arno, the messenger guard, brings in the next play. 2:55. Ricky Bell and Wilder. Fusino. Touchdown. Jimmy Giles, the tight end. Touchdown pass thrown by Fusino to Jimmy Giles.
A happy group, I'll tell you that. That's good for Fusino, too, Lindsey. Being able to take it down there. Good play fake. Holds those people in there. What other person could he have to throw to in the end zone but Jimmy Giles?
Right there, the tight end. Makes it 36-3, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a conversion attempt coming. 2 minutes, 26 seconds remaining to be played in the game as we approach the automatic timeout that comes at the 2-minute warning. Capice with Swider holding. And it's good. And it is 37-3. Bring back there Middleton and McCoy.
So unfortunate for Green Bay to come down there and let this happen to them, Lindsay. But I'll tell you what, they do. You know, down the road they have a young team. They have a young team. You take Stenerud and Dickey out of the age group, the number of years they play, they only average them about 3.3 years per man, whatever that means. But they're a young team. They're an upcoming team. They show that they could put wins together, they could score points, and they do have a good team for the future, believe me.
These Tampa Bay Buccaneers here this afternoon have set a new Tampa Bay scoring record. The previous high was 33 points. They have 37. And we're getting the clock adjusted. 2:26, it says. John McKay said before the ball game that this was the most important game of the season, meaning that if they lost it, their chances of getting either a division championship or a wild card were very, very slim. On the other hand, if they won it, they'd be going in the right direction and still very much in the hunt. It's taken by McCoy. He's across the 5, 10, 15. Mike McCoy to the 20, 25, stopped at the 27-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lindsay, maybe he set a precedent this week with McKay. These guys didn't have to practice in pads all week. He let him practice without shoulder pads this week, so maybe he set a precedent. They'll look forward to practice.
First and 10 now at the 27-yard line. Middleton and Ellis are the setbacks. Rich Campbell, the quarterback, completes it to Ellis. Gets across to the 36-yard line. Knapziger made the tackle. Timeout taken by the Green Bay Packers. 2:07 on the clock. Pack takes the timeout, the first of the allotted 3. Zeke Bratkowski talking to quarterback Rich Campbell. Bart Starr come around talking to Bratkowski, saying, "What did you tell him?"
Zeke might want to hit the 9-iron instead of the 8-iron.
Could be. Rich Campbell, the rookie who has played most of this game for the Green Bay Packers. They're measuring for the possible first down now. The chain's going to be taken all the way across. Bill Johnston there, the offensive line coach, along with John McKay. Johnston, one-time head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, Green Bay's going to have to do a lot to try to salvage something out of this season. And after the performance they had today, believe me, it's going to be kind of tough. But I don't know what's wrong with them. I really don't. When I saw them yesterday, they looked like they were confident. They were at ease. They were working out well. Everybody was happy. Everybody's enjoying the fact they're coming down here earlier than they expected. They walked into a hornet's nest.
Detroit leading Chicago 16-7 in the fourth quarter. Third down and a yard to go. 3rd and 1 at the 36-yard line. Completed for the first down. Taken by Kaufman, the tight end. Richard Wood made the tackle. And we've reached the 2-minute warning. The automatic timeout coming here with 2 minutes remaining to be played in this football game. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are leading the Green Bay Packers by a score of 37-3.
Presents Fantastic Finishes. 1967, 15 degrees below zero in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Packers trail the Cowboys by 3. The field is a sheet of ice as Bart Starr keeps the ball and sneaks into the end zone for the score. Who made the block that sprung him? Right guard Jerry Kramer against massive Jethro Pugh. The Packers win 21-17 and claim the NFL championship.
Green Bay Packers have the ball. First and 10, they have it at their own 44-yard line. Tampa came into this game with a record of 5-6. Last year they won only 5 games, including 1 divisional win. Rich Campbell sort of unloaded it out there in the general direction of Turdell Middleton. Brad White was putting the pressure on him.
Tampa's not letting them do anything, Lindsay.
Detroit 16, Chicago 7 in the fourth quarter, and New Orleans 27, Houston 17 in the fourth quarter as Bum Phillips takes his team back to Houston. New York Giants 13, 10 ahead of the Philadelphia Eagles. The Giants started 5-6, could move to 500, 6-6. That's in the fourth quarter. Rich Campbell. Incomplete to Ellis with Cecil Johnson, the linebacker there. 3rd and 10 at the 44. Now here were the teams that started 5-6, but you can see adjustments have been made with the presumed outcome here, which would send Tampa Bay up to a 6-6, send Green Bay down to a 5-7. Giants, of course, were involved. You saw they were leading a moment ago, leading the Philadelphia Eagles. They could move to 6-6. That's all in the scramble for the wild card. Kaufman, intended receiver. Neil Cozy, the defender.
When things go bad, they go bad.
All over.
Well, at least a wild card is getting a little more clear, Lindsay.
It is. It's a thing that's inexplicable to me. I took a look this morning for a long time at the whole sheet of tiebreakers and discovered that I'd be better not even to start. I'm going to have to wait and call in, I think.
Who they have hidden away to explain it.
I wonder. 4th down. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Figure there's no point in giving the ball up here on a punt. And so Rich Campbell down for the 4th down pass. Goes to Ellis. He's trying to find a corner to turn, but he can't. And the ball goes over on downs as Norris Thomas runs him out. Tampa Bay Buccaneers will get it in Green Bay territory. 1st and 10 with 1:36 on the clock.
You know something, Lizzie, coming into today's game, you know, McKay had to be in a position of, first he had 2 problems. He had a team coming in here, so he just won 3 games in a row, scoring points, and he didn't know how his team was going to play.
He certainly didn't. He didn't have any idea how his team was going to perform, and he has to be completely gratified with this performance here this afternoon. He's had performances in almost every department. Outstanding. Ricky Bell, Tony Davis are the setbacks here. Ricky Bell takes it down to the 42-yard line for 5. John Anderson made the tackle. It'll be 2nd and 5. Place kicker Bill Capice has scored the most points by a Buck place kicker, 13. Been a long day for Bart Starr.
Yep, sure has been.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers have not punted today. Larry Swider's sole duties have been holding for the place kicker.
It's a good thing to stay away from when you punt.
2nd and 5. 53 seconds remaining to be played in this game. To the up back this time. Tony Davis. Casey Merrill made the tackle. It is at the 39-yard line. Picked up 3. 3rd down and 2 yards to go. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are leading 37-3, and the clock is running.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot to say for this Tampa Bay team. They came into this game with their backs inside the wall, and not just against it, but inside the wall, Lindsay, and they put it together today, that's for sure.
Bucks don't have to come out of the huddle. We have 16 seconds. They're not coming out. They're just going to let the clock run out, and the game will be over. The attendance today, 63,251. Bart Starr headed for the locker room as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers move up to 500 for the year, 6-6. Green Bay moves to 5-7. Final score is the Tampa Bay Bucks 37 and the Green Bay Packers 3. Time has run out and the ball game is over. What an afternoon it's been for the Green Bay Packers. In almost every phase of the game, they excelled here this afternoon. On the ground, in the air, place kicking is the kind of a day a coach hopes to get at any time. John McKay hoping to get it so he could turn his team into the stretch drive and stay alive for a possible wild card, or in this case, a possible championship in the Central Division, because the Minnesota Vikings do not play this afternoon. They are leading by 2 games starting play today.